You know, I did ask that question against the background of what we see across the world now. Maybe you say Europe. You see a lot of young people coming through the political system with massive supports. They're leading their countries in different capacities.
That's right.
And then I asked, look, can that ever happen? Not even Nigeria, Africa. Do you think that we can catch that bug?
Well, until recently, it's beginning to happen in Kenya. We saw what happened apart from the presidential, which is like an anticlimax in the whole thing. But it can happen in Nigeria. And how can it happen in Nigeria is if the youth come together. Unfortunately, we have a set of people in this country whose mentality has been affected negatively over the years. So it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be impossible, but it's going to be a bit difficult getting to reorientate them, which is what we are doing right now. Okay, and I believe it's going to take time, but eventually.
That's your party?
That's right. That's what we're doing. Even today we have a rally. We'll be going from Ikeda under the bridge to Ganifa in his house. We are trying to reorientate the mind of the youth that they cannot afford to be complacent. Anybody can speak grammar, sit down, begin to analyze, begin to find fault. No, they should all come in, throw their cap into the ring, and be participative in the process itself.
Give us some more on hands-on, you know, because you're in it. Your party, the NCP, almost everybody speaks highly of Elite Ganifa.
Yes.
But then he vied. And, you know, you'd have thought if Nigerians wanted to change, if they wanted certain things to happen, they'll look for someone who's got perhaps that kind of clout. At that time, Nigerians didn't. You're in that party now.
Yes.
What do you think went wrong?
What went wrong is that the mentality of the people at that time was such that we believe that, okay, Chief Gani was coming in for president. He doesn't have money to throw around. We need people that have money to throw around, get bag of rice, get you chicken, get you all of that. So they felt Gani was speaking grammar. And ideologically, they knew what he was saying was the things we need as a people. But they didn't vote him in because they felt he was not doing vote and chop. You know, so they didn't look his way. It's been several years now down the line, and things have gone from bad to worse. Today we find situations where states cannot pay salaries. We find situations where we have to borrow money to finance our budget. It wasn't that bad. So Nigerians are beginning to see that there's a need to break away from the norm. There's a need to follow a new order, a total deviation from where we are coming from. It's not a question of APC or PDP. We need persons that have what they are bringing to the table that will change the system, and that's what our party stands for. That's what I stand for, and I do believe that in 2019 the narrative will change because people are tired of what they are beginning to see. The PDP, the APC, there's no difference between the two of them. People just cross carpet from one party to another. It's basically the same thing. So in 2019 the people are going to be wiser. They want to see results on the table. They want to see something that is totally different from where we're coming from.
But what do you think about the thinking along the lines that though you say that the people are tired, but at the end of the day, come 2019, the politicians will still win?
Yes, the politicians will win, Gimba, if we allow them to win. Nigeria is a nation of almost 200 million people. Thank God for card readers. So carrying ballot boxes and all that, snatching boxes, stuffing them, it's a little bit difficult now compared to what it used to be. So that means we can have some degree of monitoring. So there's going to be a difference now, largely because, like I did say, the people want a difference. And if the people come out one-on-one and say, like I meet young people every day, and they tell me, look, we've worked for this party, we work for this party, we've discovered they are the same thing, we want a breakaway, we want a change. We are the ones they use on the street to do all these things, and we are tired, we just want a change. So if Nigerians go to the ballot and cast their vote on the basis of integrity, like I'm saying, there will be a difference. Let them come with their money. We won't take the money. We want a change. We want Nigeria to work. You guys were doing this review a moment ago. I was almost weeping in the waiting room there. The things you were reading, we take a step forward, we take 2 steps backward. We're not making progress. So if someone comes to you and says, take a bag of rice and vote for me, how long will it take you to finish that bag of rice? So I believe that if Nigerians want a change, we will get a change, and that change will come in 2019.
The other angle to this is that if perhaps maybe you get somebody who gets into a particular office, you come in with your integrity, is there a guarantee that you will live with it? if you don't have, a combination of people who are going there with you to help you out, because it's about the system here. So if the system is skewed or is enmeshed with all sorts of practices, how does one person come into that system and make an impact?
Thank you. See, the question you've asked is a very important one, and that's why in leadership, a leader must define his path. What am I going to do if, okay, I'm the president, I'm just running? Your inaugural speech tells a whole lot. If your inaugural speech is not defined, if you have not mentioned in specific terms the things you want to do, the role of the executive, the role of the legislature, the role of the security agents, the role of the office of the citizens, then you leave them to begin to imagine your body language. That's where that word body language comes in. If you do not define in clear terms, these are the things, fellow Nigerians, thank you for voting me into office. In the next 4 years, this is our direction. These and these and these are the things we are going to achieve. These are the sacrifices you will have to make. These are the things you state it in black and white, so nobody sees you as a messiah. It's a collective thing.
So nobody sees you as a messiah?
As a messiah. There's no miracle anywhere. You must state it out in black and white. We must have all roles to play in this.
Well, but is that going to go against the promises that you've made? Because
it certainly will not go against the promises.
But based on some of the promises that they make, people, quote unquote, see them as the messiah in the context of their promises. So if you say nobody sees you as a messiah, is that almost immediately shirking responsibility?
No, it's making them know they have a role to play. Now let me give you
that's the people.
Yeah, people. We all have roles to play. If you just sit back and say, okay, when Buhari was sworn in, we had high hopes. And people just folded their arms and say, okay, he's been sworn in, things will change, the Messiah has come. What are we seeing? It's not possible. When he was sworn in initially, the first few days, if you drive past the road, the policemen, they will not take bribe from you. They will look and they are afraid. Oh, Buhari has come. Everybody is afraid. The body language. But there was no black and white specification of the rules of the individual, the role of the city. It has to be clearly stated out. But after a couple of weeks, what did we see? The tempo began to go down. People began to go back to what they were doing before he came, because they felt, okay, the Messiah has come, he's going to wave the magical wand and Nigeria will change. It won't work. We all have roles to play, and we must define those roles. And that's why I say that it's a collective effort. If you want Nigeria to work today, it will work, but leadership, defined, specific leadership is everything.